Hope everybody's enjoying this Labor Day weekend. Rockies concluding a 4-game set against the San Francisco Giants. And so far, so good. The Rockies have captured 2 of the first 3. They did fall last night 7-3. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We're glad you're with us right here on Root Sports. Gregor Blanco will lead things off against Yohan Flande. He's wearing their Sunday purple, and that first fastball outside ball 1. This will be the 8th start for Yohan this year, his 16th appearance.
Well, when you see his numbers as a starter, he is 2-0 with the .406, a .261 batting average against. There's a ground ball to Rosario at first. Flande looking like an athlete.
Good start, mishit ground ball. Willeen Rosario fielded it cleanly. 2 pitches in, you have an out. Here's the Southwest batting order for Bruce Bochy this afternoon. Kelby Tomlinson's been moved all over that batting order of late. He'll bat second this afternoon. Then Matt Duffy, Buster Posey behind the plate. Marlon Bertle back 5th. Brandon Belt feeling better today. Remember, he was sick to his stomach in a scratch yesterday. He'll be at first base batting 6th. Brandon Crawford after that. Juan Perez in left field. And one of the best hitting pitchers, if not the best hitting pitcher in the game, Madison Bumgarner. 1 out, and Tomlinson takes ball 1. We can tell you Chad Fairchild is calling balls and strikes. Pat Holberg is at first. Jim Joyce, the crew chief, at second. Kerwin Danley is at third. That's outside. 2-0. Well, the Giants snapped their 7-game losing streak yesterday, and they did it with the bats. They produced 7 runs on 15 hits. And it's funny, we were looking at that lineup yesterday, Spilly, and to steal a line from the clubhouse, you guys call it the Goon Squad, when a lot of the backups get to play, and that's what they rolled out yesterday, really out of necessity because so many guys were beat up, and those guys came through.
They came through. They handled the Rockies pretty well, and I think it's very similar to Yohan Flande, who's faced Max Scherzer a couple times and Madison Bumgarner tonight. You get these guys on paper, you look at the matchup, and you're going to assume that it's going to be for one team versus the other. Yohan Flande, if you're hitting against him, you have no idea. His tendencies, there's nothing to follow. He will throw whatever at any count, which makes him remarkable in my opinion.
3-2, and that ball's hit pretty well to center field. Brandon Barnes is out in center, and Barnesy makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's the Rockies defense on this Sunday afternoon. Kyle Parker's in left, Barnes in center, Cargo's in right, Nolan and Jose on the left side. Christian Adames starting for DJ LeMahieu, giving him a day at second. Willeen Rosario, another big right-handed bat, in the lineup for Walt. And Nick Hundley, who had last night off, is behind the plate. 2 outs, nobody on, and Matt Duffy will come up. Flande is making his first career start against the Giants. So nobody has a long track record against him. Duffy has 1 plate appearance against Yohan. Quickly a 2-strike count. One of the beautiful things about Flande is he does not waste time, man. He gets right back on the rubber.
He does not waste time, and talking to some of the Giants guys, I was like, hey, do you guys have a scouting report on Flande? They said, be ready for anything, anywhere at any time.
And it's not like he doesn't have a little zip on his fastball when he goes to it. I mean, right there, that's 92. You don't have to be embarrassed about his heater.
No, it's not 84-mile-an-hour fastball. It is 92-mile-an-hour with cut. We'll throw a changeup, and the point I'm making with the tendencies, there's days that he throws the fastball 40% of the time. There's a start a week ago against Arizona. He threw the fastball 70% of the time. So there's no way to know how Flande's going to attack you.
2-2. That last fastball just missed at 93. And then he goes soft, and then also a pitch that just missed. Better brought the suntan lotion or spray today. It's a warm one. 3-2, and it's bounced to third. Nolan stays behind it and will throw out Duffy by a step. Good start for Yohan Flande. We'll see the Rockies bats against Madison Bumgarner upon our return. brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Reyes will be followed by Christian Adames. And the switch hitter, Nolan Arenado, Carlos Gonzalez, Willeen Rosario in the middle. Cargo's hit 5 home runs against Bumgarner. Nick Hundley will bat 6, and Kyle Parker, Brandon Barnes, and Flande. The other guy that swung the bat well in the lineup for the Rockies against Bumgarner is Willeen Rosario. 28 start for Madison. He is 16-7. Hard luck loser in LA in his last outing.
He was a hard luck loser. He's 5-1. 5-1 in his last 6 starts. A 1.61 ERA, 191 opponent batting average. He lost to Zach Greinke, in which was an epic duel. This guy wants to compete. He's going to be out here and compete every day. He's one of my favorite guys to actually watch a pitch game.
He's one of the true tough guys in Major League Baseball. And the performance in Game 7, the performance in Game 6, and then Game 7, one for the baseball ages.
How can you not love a guy when you see him take his entire team on his back and just say, let's go?
Literally. This ball lined to right, a base hit for Jose. Good start for the Rockies as Reyes is aboard for Christian Adames. Here's San Francisco with the leather this afternoon. Juan Perez is in left field. Gregor Blanco for Angel Pagan in center. And Marlon Byrd is in right. Duffy, Crawford, Tomlinson, and Belt. Very solid infield. And Buster Posey behind the plate. Up until about an hour ago, there was no backup catcher available for the Giants, because you may recall Hector Sanchez had to leave after a sac bunt yesterday. He had This ball is bounced through the right side by Adames. 2 on for Arenado. To finish up, Hector Sanchez went down. And when we got the injury report this morning, I said, you got to be kidding me. This was a sac bunt. Now, he almost beat it. He ends up rolling his ankle. That's why he had to leave the game. That was the initial report. We got the full report today. He strained a hamstring, has a midfoot sprain, and a rolled ankle, and he is out for the season. Bruce Bochy had the best line of all. He said, I didn't realize it was so dangerous running 90 feet. He came up with 3 injuries on one play. Not to make light, and it's unfortunate for them. They had to call up Jackson Williams. Remember Jackson briefly with the Rockies last year from Double-A. Didn't arrive until literally a short while ago. So, I mean, if Posey were to go down.
I heard Jason Hirsch mention in the pregame report that the super secret backup was Juan Perez and Alejandro de Aza. So there's a reason why he wasn't in the lineup today, de Aza, because he was the potential left-handed catcher.
In tandem, Nolan got a pretty good hack there, 1-1. Are they going to put 2 guys back there at the same time?
Yeah, you can have one on the left-handed batter's box and one on the right-handed. Well, Nolan clicked Madison Bumgarner for a homer in the first inning in San Francisco.
1-2
on a game where it was for the series win. And I remember talking to some of the guys, they had him on the ropes in the first inning, and you hear Walt talk about it. In order to beat a guy like Madison Bumgarner, you have to do the little things. You have to get him early before they settle down.
I remember that game well, because then unfortunately he did settle in. Well, Nolan has hit a home run in 6 consecutive games. He took Jake Peavy deep and ran him off in the 6th inning. He also has an RBI in 8 consecutive games. And he has a wonderful opportunity to make it 9 straight right here. 2 on and nobody out. Bottom of the first, 1-2. That's high. 2 of the hottest guys in baseball, number 28 in purple, number 5 in purple. Good speed on. 2-2 inside. That made the home plate umpire Chad Fairchild flinch, and it may have been a strike if you look at the Ford strike zone. thought he had a fairly tight zone in the first on Flande.
You know what? When you're set up on the outside part of the plate where Buster Posey was set up, and the ball wasn't meant to be where it was, but yes, that should have been called a strike. And umpires miss him too, good or bad. It's part of the game. It's what I've always enjoyed. That's why I'd never like to see a robo umpire. I think the human error element makes the game special.
Couldn't agree with you more. There's Carlos. Good battle going on right now. Arenado and Bumgarner. Nolan 9 home runs against the Giants this year. Runners going, and it's fouled off. Some managers are loath to do that because they worry about what happened to the Rockies, or excuse me, the Rockies' opponent a few days ago, Arizona, with Paul Goldschmidt. The runners going lined into a triple play.
And that happens as you're playing the percentages. You'd like to see the runners moving. Maybe it forces a infielder to rush a throw. You're putting pressure on defense.
He cranks him up again. No. And that misses. And now the bases are loaded against Bumgarner. Nobody out here in the first. And amazingly, the guy coming up, Carlos Gonzalez, see that pitch is in, has unbelievable numbers against Madison Bumgarner. And the reason I sound surprised is you're talking about a lefty against one of the premier left-handers in the game. You wouldn't think that would be the case.
No, you wouldn't at all.
Yet Cargo's dominated Bumgarner.
Dominates him better than anybody. Cargo has more homers than anyone else in baseball against Madison Bumgarner. Chase Headley has 3.
Especially that arm slot. Bumgarner said the other day his favorite swing in baseball is Cargo's, except when he has to face him. He's got to face him right now with the bases loaded. And he misses up high, ball 1.
Bumgarner only has 1 win in his last 6 starts here at Coors Field. He is 1-3 with the 5.35 ERA. Not off to a good start.
1-0. Hear the crowd oohing and on. Yeah, he was throwing that cutter 87, 88, that fastball at 94. He understands the situation. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just the 7th time the bases have been loaded all year against Bumgarner. Angle, Spilly, you were a right-handed hitter, but to me that's why what Cargo's done against him is amazing, because he's throwing the baseball, he hides it so well, and then he throws it from slings it from a 3/4 arm angle. 1-2. And this is poked to deep short. They'll get 1, and that's it. So the Rockies get a run. Cargo picks off his 86th RBI. That was very, very important, clearly, there, that Cargo find a way to get the ball in play, because Bumgarner can easily strike out the side and you get nothing against him.
No doubt, and that is what makes it so difficult. Let's watch the pitch-by-pitch sequence that Madison Bumgarner threw at Carlos Gonzalez. Part of it is setting him up. He likes to show Cargo up just so he can get him off the off-speed pitches. Blows another fastball by him, another one, so you're thinking, is he going to get another one? That entire bat, he challenged him up. We saw him to start in San Francisco. Bumgarner goes after Carlos Gonzalez with the fastball.
1-0 on Willeen Rosario. And again, Rosario also with very good numbers against Bumgarner. 11 for 34, 324 average, a home run to his credit as well. And this ball's line to left, tagging Adames, and here comes the throw. It is on line in time, safe, hand underneath the tag, despite a perfect throw by Juan Perez. 2-0 Colorado. Adames got underneath the tag. And that was bang, bang at the plate.
Juan Perez first got called up in 2013. He began his career with a 6-game hitting streak, but more impressive was his outfield defense. He's always been known for the good, strong throwing arm, and this ball is right on the plate. Ever since the catcher throwing lanes have changed, you can see Posey is having to allow Adames to have a lane. Years past, Posey would be allowed to block home plate. You wouldn't see the head first slide. And of course, the rule was made because of Buster Posey.
So Nick Hundley at the plate, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Two productive outs by the Rockies. Nick's had a good homestand. 368, 7 hits, 19 at bats. Two O's in there, 2-1. Last 19 starts for Madison Bumgarner from August 1st forward. Last couple 3 years, they've lost only 4 times. This is in the air to shallow center, and a sliding catch made by Blanco to end the inning. Very strong first frame for the Rockies on offense. They score a couple of times against Bumgarner. Toyota stores, let's go places. By Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. Rockies off to a quick start on this Sunday afternoon. Johan Flande, Madison Bumgarner. The Rockies put up 2 in the first against Mad Bum. Buster Posey will lead things off here against Johan Flande in the second. Cargo and RBI ground out, sac fly off the bat of Rosario. So the 2 guys who had the best numbers statistically against Bumgarner coming in produced the runs batted in.
Well, and that's what you expect when you have guys that have faced Madison Bumgarner a bunch of times. But I still love the way that the inning started with Jose Reyes, Christian Adames hitting behind the runner, hitting a ball into right field. I thought it was an excellent first inning for the Rockies.
And again, that's another one of those borderline pitches. Seems like Chad Fairchild, and I guess he was outside, to his credit. Seemed like he had pretty tight zone in the first inning. Posey fouls that off. Buster's hitting .325, which is tied for second with D. Gordon in the National League. Bryce Harper, who's heating up again, is at .337. DJ, who's not in the lineup today, is hitting .317, and he is 7th in the league. Just off the plate inside on Posey. Posey had to come into the ball game yesterday. It was supposed to be a day off when Sanchez went down, and Buster ended up 1 for 2 and an intentional walk. 3-1. Deep right, Cargo hoping for a play, will not have one, and he's going to have to chase it down. Posey is going to stop at second. Barnes helps out there. So a double for Buster Posey leading off the second. He can just flat hit.
He can absolutely hit.
Marlon Bird coming up. Rockies fans, join in on the conversation. Send us your thoughts and photos. Use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Bird's been fighting it at the plate. Every hitter goes through it. Marlon won for his last 19. And it's one of those deals. Spill, you've been there. Every guy who puts a uniform on at some point is in that spot. Every time you go up, you feel like it's 0-2.
Well, and there's times where you're up at the plate and there'll be a little mechanical thing that you forgot to do. And I think with Nolan a couple weeks ago, he was forgetting to load up his legs. He starts loading him up and it starts to go for him.
That's going to be a base hit. Posey had to hold to see if it would get down before Cargo could get to it. So it's first and third, nobody out, with Brandon Belt coming up. Belt's improved dramatically of late. Left on left, 24 for his last 66 against Southpaws, a .364 average. Rockies gladly will trade a run for an out here. 2-0 early going. First and third, nobody out. Spilly, from a position player standpoint, when I tell you, let's say a guy was brought up and you said, hey, what's this guy? He's going to throw, you're going to play behind him. And you say, hey, what's he got? I don't know a lot about him. I said, you know what? His stuff's okay, but he's not afraid. What does that speak to you?
Just tells me he's not afraid of throwing anything at any time. And no matter who's at the plate or what the situation is, he's going to compete. I think those are the best guys to play behind.
Well, we say this a lot about Flande. We say it a lot about Chris Russin. It's not faint praise, but we say they're not afraid.
Not afraid. Yeah, they don't care who's at the plate.
0-2 on Belt. Hook to first. And that slight bobble removed any chance at a double play. Willeen was going to probably look like was going to go to the bag and then try to get the tag at second. So it's an RBI ground out for Belt. Bird into scoring position. And that's a little bit of the inexperience there for Rosario. You got to go get that second, the lead runner there.
Well, he has a lot of options too. He feels that clean. He can look Buster Posey back to third base, step on first if you're still going to go for the unassisted at first base. Yes, I mean, Morneau does that play a lot different.
So a run in, it's 2-1 for Belt, his 62nd RBI. Bird at second. Another guy who's improved tremendously, and you noted this last night, facing lefties, Brandon Crawford.
Crawford. It is 2 for 2 already off Flande.
Scuffling of late, 3 for his last 32. But he was an all-star this year, and something tells me, especially with Troy now over in the American League, it will not be his final all-star appearance.
Now you can pretty much check him in. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be an all-star.
From Pleasanton, California, went to school at UCLA where he was a big star. Pretty neat for him that he comes back and gets to play for the team he rooted for growing up. Here's the 1-2. All right, you're an expert on all things California, at least stylistically. Crawford more NorCal or SoCal for you?
It depends. I have to ask him if what the weather's like, and if he says, "Hey man, it's pretty cold" or something like that. I mean, can't use the word on air, but there's a significant word difference between a SoCal guy and a NorCal guy. But having him being from Northern California but going to school in Southern California, he may be all messed up.
And you are strictly SoCal?
Strictly SoCal.
Yeah. That's what we had you as.
Yeah.
But we actually defined it more. You're strictly Santa Barbara.
Exactly.
A little bit of an elitist SoCal.
It's fine with that.
You wear it with honor, that badge.
Absolutely. You should.
Another 1-2 to Crawford. And this is slowly hit to second. Adames has it. 2 outs. Bird to third, and that'll bring up Juan Perez. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 runs or more in any ballgame, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. So Juan Perez against Flande, and this is one of those classic situations, Billy, of minimize the damage. It was a 1st and 3rd situation with nobody out. And if you go back to the dugout having given up just 1, it's job well done.
It is a job well done, and this Giants team, they excel with runners in scoring position. They lead all baseball runners in scoring position with a 282 batting average. But when it gets to 2 outs, 273 batting average, so it doesn't dip down much. This is what makes them so, I think annoying is the word, because they don't go away.
This is slowly hit. Flande turns, fires, and gets Perez. That is a job well done. The Giants do get a run, but it could have been worse. Flande runs off 2-1. Rockies lead middle of 2. second inning. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. It was this date in 1995, how time flies. First pitch to Kyle Parker misses, that Cal Ripken Jr. tied the Iron Man streak at 21-31, Lou Gehrig. And then he would go on to play in another gazillion games in a row, 26-32, before he finally sat down. That is, for me, one of the most extraordinary records in the history of sports, not just baseball.
No one's ever going to get close to that.
No, I just give you an idea. Miguel Tejada between 2000 and 2007, 1152. Prince Fielder before the neck surgery, 547. A-Rod, 546 in the early part of the 21st century. Parker misses 1 and 2. And the active leader right now, this puts it all in perspective. A fellow Oriole who plays on the left side of the infield. He's playing a little short now also. Manny Machado at 131. Manny, you have about 2,500 games to go.
I was laughing just looking at those numbers. After he broke the record, 21-31, he still played 501 more consecutive games right after that. And that would be a record right now, hands down.
Kyle Parker strikes out, 1 out, and that'll bring up Brandon Barnes. Baltimore Orioles tweeted out his lap around the ballpark began precisely at 9:31 or 21:31 on the 24-hour clock. How about that?
Wow.
Right?
It took me a while to figure out what DYK. I think that, and then I figured it out. Did you know? It took me a while.
You dropped an acronym last night.
What did I do? Did I do LOL?
No, LMOA.
LMAFO.
Yeah. AFO,
yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, it's a band.
Ball and a strike on Brandon Barnes in center field today. Remember, for a couple of years, the Rockies unfortunately could not win on a Sunday if they ran 15 guys out in the field. This year, much better, 10-9 on Sundays. Walt looking on. He made this point last inning. You got to get after an elite pitcher and take advantage of the rare opportunities that present themselves, because a lot of times a guy like this, maybe he started slow like he did and the Rockies got 2 off him in the first. You may not see 2 guys on in the same inning again.
You might not put ball in play for a couple innings.
He has that kind of ability, as we all know. 2-2 on Barnes.
Get your tickets now for the Fan Appreciation Fireworks, courtesy of Great Clips, on Friday, September 25th, after the Rockies take on the Dodgers. Hopefully they don't do the fireworks that fast.
Just can't enjoy it when it goes off that quickly.
No, look how fast the people are running out of there.
Barnes jammed on a cutter, fly ball to Blanco. And that'll bring up Johan Flande. I'm sure he's anxiously anticipating this AB.
Oh, he's going to bunt.
Johan bunts more than anybody in baseball. He bunts more than D. Gordon.
And they're playing him to bunt. Matt Duffy's in on the grass. Belt's in on the grass.
Whose first game is it? Who you think?
The babies.
Going with the baby?
Yeah. It says I may be small. Maybe small, but I'm the Rockies' biggest fan. Oh, that's cute.
That's cute. Break that hack down, would you please?
No, thank you.
Come on.
Okay, why don't we show a quick replay from the side, and I'll break it down. So his front hip flies open right here. That's not what you're supposed to do, and you're not supposed to let go of the bat until after it gets through the zone.
Who's better, his or BK's?
Young Kim was a better swing.
That was a better swing.
Yeah.
1-2-3 inning for Bumgarner in the second. Rockies up 2-1. Day for both teams. The Rockies off to San Diego, play a Labor Day afternoon ball game. With Ryan Spilborghs, I'm Drew Goodman, and we have a very special guest.
Yeah, we do.
We prettied things up a little bit, didn't we? Missy Franklin joins us. How are you?
I am so good. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I missed you.
You did?
I did.
Even Spilly?
Even Spilly.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
I'm
going to have to call you out on something. In San Francisco, Jenny Kavanagh talked to you, and you had a Giants hat on.
I did.
Now you're here. You got the rock. What side are you on?
Okay, well, here's the thing. I went to Berkeley for 2 years, so I definitely got into Bay Area sports. All Colorado sports will always come first in my heart, but it was very fun rooting for the Giants when I was out there.
That was very PC of you. Well done.
Very politically correct.
You did very nicely there. 1-1 on Madison Bumgarner. So I just asked you if you were at the local pool lately. Did you get laps in this morning?
I did, actually. We were at Carmody Rec Center this morning, and my cousins are in town, and we went to the Taylor Swift concert last night.
Did you?
Which was amazing. We got to meet her, and she's the sweetest human being. But I got about 2 hours of sleep before morning workout, so...
There's something wrong
she looks
with her,
fine
by the
after
way.
a couple of hours of sleep.
She got like 2 hours of sleep. I got my workout in. How long were you in the pool? Like 2 hours?
2 hours. Yeah, we were in 2 hours.
2 hours sleep, 2 hours workout, and you look a whole lot fresher than we do.
Well, you guys, how can you not be excited for this?
I'm telling you.
That is true.
Bumgarner on the mound. So how's the training going? We heard and watched a little bit about the Worlds and everything.
Yeah, it's going awesome. So we just got back from Worlds, and I had another meet in France, and then I just took 2 weeks off. And that looks like a really good. Yeah.
We'll let you call it. Well, you're a professional now, right? You've now become a professional swimmer. What is that like?
It's amazing. It's been so much fun. It's been such a good learning experience. There's so many different aspects of the sport that I'm seeing for the first time, and being a professional and having this be my job now. It's really exciting.
What is the biggest difference for you now that it is a job? Does it feel like it's...
It really doesn't feel that different, because the reason why I swim will never change. No matter, what's coming from it, whether there's money involved or not, I do it because I love it.
That's
and it's my passion. So regardless of what else is going on, that will never change.
How about your time commitment? Because when you're going to school, you're studying and you're an athlete, and also because of who you are, you were traveling all over the world in addition. Now being a professional, there's the endorsement side of things and things you have to weigh. How new and how interesting and how challenging is all of that?
It's definitely a challenge. I'm so lucky I have the support system that I have, but it's this whole new aspect that we have to throw into the mix now that we're going to have to start juggling with everything else. And so far I've had, you know, the best agent. He's been incredible. My parents have always been right there with me. My coach is great, and we're taking it one day at a time and making sure training always comes first, and that everything else will fall into place.
Are you always so bubbly?
There's no reason not to be.
No, there isn't. There is
no reason not
there's
to
a lot to be learned in that statement. Bumgarner goes down swinging to Flande, 1 out in the 3rd. There was another young lady in the Worlds, and forgive me because I can't remember her name.
Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, who's like you, who was a teenage phenom.
Incredible, yes.
And she's like yourself, kind of taking the world by storm. Huh?
Yeah, she's been absolutely amazing. So she swam in London. She won gold there. And no one even knew who she was in 2012 until March, and then she made the team and a month later won gold. And since then she's just been breaking world records and just doing the most incredible things that honestly have never been seen in the sport before. So it's been so cool to be a part of that journey with her and watching her while she's doing it.
How good is that for you? Because anybody who reaches the level you have as an athlete, just like Spilly played at the highest level, he was saying this earlier, you're motivated by other people's greatness, and though she's a teammate, you know, she's trying to raising you up, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely, of course. I think whenever anyone breaks those barriers like she's been doing, it gives you kind of that confidence again. Like, there's no reason why I can't do something. There's no reason why I can't do something that's never been done before. And you know, she does it almost every time she gets in the pool, and it inspires all of us.
That's pretty neat.
It's incredible.
You moved back to Denver.
Yeah.
How is that?
It's
you love being back
awesome.
home?
Yes. I miss my teammates and all my friends at school so much. That part has been really, really hard. But being back, I'm living with my parents and back with them.
In the basement?
I'm in the basement. It's like my little mini apartment in the house. But they're my best friends, so we've been having a great time.
When did you know that you were an elite swimmer?
Oh my gosh. I don't think.
Did they just toss you in the pool and you're like,
I always loved it. Okay. That was never in question. But I think when I first realized that my dreams could come true was I competed in Olympic trials when I was 13 in 2008. And when I went there, it was like, okay, like 4 years from now, I want to be back here. And like, I really want to have a shot at making the team. And so it kind of showed me what I would have to do and what it would take. And
everything's relative, Missy. Let me point something out. If you were invited at 13 to the Olympic trials, you had to do something at 10, 11, and 12 that indicated you were kind of better than all the other little kids running around diving in the pool.
Honestly, like, I was just having so much fun. Like, I love travel trips and playing pranks on other states' teams when we would go to meets. Like, that's what I love.
Give me an example of a state prank. I love pranks.
They're awesome.
Give me a good one.
We were at a zone meet in, I think, New Mexico, and someone completely filled our tent with like 300 balloons, so we could not move, like we couldn't get in, and so to retaliate we completely saran wrapped there so they couldn't even get inside.
There you go.
Nice.
Great.
What you should have done actually is the other way around. Once they went to bed, then you saran wrap it. You eliminate competition.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
See,
next time.
Do
that at the Olympic Games in Rio coming up.
Perfect.
Right?
We'll target a country and just saran wrap away.
Australia saran
wrap Australia.
Their dorm rooms. They're done. They'll be eliminated. That is a fair ball down the right field line for Kelby Tomlinson, and he'll have himself a 2-out double. It is in layman terms, as fans, most people in your sport, unfairly, but pay attention in the Olympics and are not. I think more people here now because of what you've done, or anytime you're in the pool, we're aware of what you're doing and where the meet is and so forth. Are you always gearing up to train for 4 years down the road, or, you know, next month and, you know, wherever you are, that is the main focus?
Yeah, we have a saying on our team that we say a lot, and it's It's not 4 years, it's every day. And it happens a lot where, swimming is an Olympic sport, and that's really when a lot of people pay attention, is every 4 years. It's just that time. But for us, it really is every single day. The Olympics is the biggest meet of our career, but we have so much in between those 4 years that we're focused on, and we want to do well throughout all of it.
I think I've told you this before, and one of the things I love so much, and I'm a huge Olympic fan. I love what the Olympics
I can't watch the medal.
It's like, where's that tissue box? Yeah. Put the tissue box here, a cold beverage right there, and we're ready to go in the Olympics. Right? But I love swimming. I love track and field because, with all due respect to gymnastics and some of the, there's no judge who's saying that's a 9.85.
Right. Yeah.
It's guess what? You and I are swimming, and if I touch the wall before you, I win.
Yeah, and I have so much respect for those sports that do get judged too, because that is one thing about swimming is there's nothing. It's you either touch the wall first or you didn't, and it comes down to that 100th of a second, and that's all that matters.
Right. Can we keep you around for another half inning? Is that all right?
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. Awesome. Missy Franklin is with us. The Rockies lead 2-1. Wave again, all your fans. They're not used to it. He gets confused. Giants, they're up 2-1 on Madison Bumgarner as they come up here in the bottom of the third inning. Jose Reyes, Christian Adames, Nolan Arenado, Drew Goodman with Ryan Spilborghs, and Missy Franklin continues with us. So I thought in this segment we would ask all the dumb water thoughts that we could come up with, all the dumb water questions. Ready?
Let's do it.
So how long can you, if you dove in a 50-meter pool, which that's an Olympic length pool, right? That's really long. If you dove in and held your breath and just kicked underneath the water, how far could you go? Other side, how far before you have to take a breath?
I think the farthest I've ever gone, I've made it across the pool before. See, underwaters aren't exactly my specialty. I like air. I really like oxygen.
On air as well, yes.
So, but we do 50s underwater where you just have to go.
That's part of training.
Yeah, back and forth, and it's really good for you, and it's good for your events, and especially backstroke. We do so much underwaters, but yeah, hypoxic sets are normally not the favorite of the swimmers, but some people like them.
Hypoxic sets. Spilly, tomorrow, I think before we go to the ballpark in San Diego, we should do some hypoxic sets.
I'll meet you.
You guys would love it.
Is that right? Yeah.
It's weirdly
Don't wear your
peaceful.
Speedos, though.
Why not?
I'm out, all right?
I think you guys would like once you're under the water, if you're able to relax, it's amazing because there's like nothing, there's no sound, it's just so calm and so beautiful, and there is something really beautiful about it.
Have you done any of these competitions? I saw Anderson Cooper, who was evidently, I think he swam in college. He's a by our standards, not your standards. He's a really good swimmer.
Yeah.
And he did this thing with Michael Phelps on his show a couple years ago. He dove in. Michael started in the pool. He dove in and swam freestyle. They went 50 meters. Michael had to go under the water. This may be another hit. Nope. Grabbed out there in center field. And Phelps, which would be he did a dolphin kick underneath the water.
Yep.
That would be fastest, right?
Yeah.
He beat him. And again, Anderson Cooper can swim. He got to dive in and swim freestyle 50 meters. He beat him underneath the water.
Michael's underwaters are unbelievable.
Is it?
Yeah, they're
so
incredible.
Has anybody ever challenged you to doing something silly like that?
Well, I was actually beginning of the summer. I went on a new Fox TV show called Beat the Champions, and I went up against a former swimmer, and they had us doing all these crazy things. And basically, we swam against each other 3 times, and each time they disabled me more and more. So we started a race, and she got a 25 head start. And then the second race, they completely saran wrapped my legs. And then the third race, they had me hooked up to 6 water jugs and swimming against a fire hose. So it was.
And he still won, of course.
I won the first 2, but the third one, I was literally not moving.
Wait, you had a fire hose? That's ridiculous.
Yes, and she had one behind her, so it was just, she killed me.
That's pretty neat.
That's awesome. I love that.
But it gave my coach some new training ideas, which.
So now you have to swim
so
against a
now
fire
I'm just
hose?
swimming against fire hose.
Oh, my goodness.
No,
that's a good way to
fun,
push
though.
the envelope. You see something like that, and you're like, let's try this.
Right? It's always fun to shake it up a little bit.
What's the breakdown training-wise? You're in the pool quite a bit, and
Yep.
I'm sure it varies day to day. How many days a week in the weight room, for instance?
I do 3 days in the weight room, and I'm actually getting very big into yoga right now. It's really, really helping me kind of bring everything together. So I'm doing that about 2 to 3 times a week too. Physical therapy twice a week, and then swimming 8 to 10 times a week.
So 2 a day is a lot of most days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which
And
is
when you're
awesome.
not practicing swimming, do you ever go to the pool and just swim?
I actually do. I love just being able to, there's something about the water. I just love being around water. Like, that's just my element. And so there's nothing better than a hot summer day, just going in the pool, laying out.
Okay, so you're just laying out. You're not.
I normally don't go and just swim extra laps
just
for fun.
swim.
I get enough of that.
What's your favorite?
Go ahead, Spill.
I want to know, what is your favorite professional sport to watch? Do you love watching baseball? Is it football? Do you like going to basketball games?
My favorite one to watch, I honestly would just consider myself a huge sports fan. Like, I just love watching sports. I have this appreciation for every sport, because I think it's amazing what people are able to do in their own environments and in their own league, and it's so cool to see how awesome everyone does when
Don't
they get
worry,
out.
he's doing that on purpose to get him to open up the outside part of the plane.
Of course, I knew
He wasn't
that.
trying to throw it.
Yeah, I totally knew that.
So many people are excited when they get to meet you, and I know because your personality, you have a very humble core to you. You really do, and you have to have, now you've met a lot of, and I know there was Taylor Swift you met last night. You mentioned that. Has there been somebody that you met and it like blew you away? It was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm meeting this person.
Oh my gosh. To be honest, even just getting like a little bit of a glimpse of this kind of a lifestyle, I feel like it's really helped me just realize that even my favorite singers, my favorite actors, favorite actresses, they really are just people. And so even just having a somewhat small idea of what they go through on a daily basis, it just kind of puts everything in perspective. So I've been super, super excited to meet some people, but again, it's like meeting a new friend.
Well, come by and visit some more. And I don't know if it'll happen this season, but we wish you all the luck in the world, continued success. You know you have the entire state pushing you forward here.
You guys are amazing.
Fire hoses behind you.
The Colorado fire hose.
You know what? See, every day's a great day. How can you not be in a better mood after you visit with Missy Franklin?
I can't.
I mean, does she raise you up or what?
She brings me up. I'm happy now. More happy.
And you know, we've all been around that person every once in a while that you think it's, well, maybe part of an act.
Yeah, maybe
we've been around her enough. That's her personality. She just loves life, embraces life, and has such an infectious, vivacious personality. She's a wonderful, wonderful person who happens to be, you know, one of the greatest athletes we have. Pretty cool.
That was great.
Yeah, always good to see Missy Franklin. Buster Posey hits this to right center and gone. That just tied it up. So Buster Posey makes it a 2-2 game with his 17th home run of the year. And for Buster, that is career home run number 100. Wonder if he wants that baseball. And it also his first home run in 115 at bats.
Well, Buster Posey has one of the best swings, right-handed swings in baseball. He hits behind the baseball, which is what you love. And by hitting behind the baseball, I'm just talking about getting all the weight on your back leg and letting your hands fly. That is a beautiful swing. As fun as it is seeing Missy Franklin, I don't like seeing Buster Posey.
No. So Buster a double and a home run today. Shift is on for Marlon Byrd, who lined a single to right his first time up. And Marlon pops this down the right field line. This is a tough play for Rosario. And he almost made it. Great effort by Willeen. I can't imagine, Spilly, I know you didn't play first base. I can't imagine a more difficult play for a first baseman.
I did play some first base. It was in Japan, and I was awful at it. But that is a very difficult play, even for a third baseman. That's just not a normal running play for these guys. They're used to having the ball on the ground in front of them. A lot of times it's the same. When a ball's hit to the outfield for the infielders running back, it's the outfielders that have priority. When we see an infielder running back to make the catch, we always say that was a really good play.
Two on Bird, line shot past the diving Nolan Arenado, and this is going to go for a double.
Marlon Byrd was 1 for 19 coming into this game tonight. Now he's 2 for 2. This was just a slider that stayed right out over the plate. Nolan giving the good old effort at third base, just barely missing it. The little top spin, which pushed the baseball down. Now the Giants are in a position where, move them over, they have a chance to take the lead on the Rockies.
Brandon Belt, an RBI ground out his first time up. So Buster Posey with his 100th Giant home run. 29 players in the history of that fabled organization have hit 100 or more home runs wearing a Giant uniform exclusively. Willie Mays has hit the most, 646. Bonds hit 586 of his 762 in a Giant uniform. Mel Ott hit all 511 of his in a Giant uniform. Willie McCovey's in the 500 home run club. 469 came in a Giant uniform. And then the list drops off considerably. than to Matt Williams, who had a great career. Matt hit 247, the manager of the Nationals, in a Giant uniform, the top 5. So Buster now 1 of 29. Here's the 0-2 on Bell. 1-2.
.319 batting average for Brandon Belt with runners in scoring position. Doesn't surprise me at all. I think I've already mentioned the .282 batting average with runners in scoring position leads all of baseball, these San Francisco Giants.
If we can get a punch out here, it'd be huge. 1-2, and it's lifted to center field, and it's not going to be able to move Bird. Barnes makes the catch, and that works basically the same way a strikeout would have. Belt couldn't get Bird to third, so now there's 1 out, and that'll bring up Brandon Crawford. Hey, it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag RMDataStrongFan, and you might just see yourself in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Crawford grounded to second his first time up. Corner for a strike. Line to center. Barnes will have a play. 2 outs. Brandon's pretty fired up. Spilly to play center field. It seems that of the guys that have the ability, and you certainly were one of them, they can play, all 3 spots. Everybody enjoys their days in center field. I know Brandon feels that way.
Yeah, of course it's the best. You get to see the baseball off the bat. You feel like you're the best athlete on the field. I think being an outfielder, we know we're never going to get a chance to play shortstop. So our place where we feel the most athletic, where it feels like you're being acknowledged that you're athletic, is when you get the chance to play center.
Ground ball, just foul. This is one of those interesting situations because ordinarily this is an automatic. You're going to pass on the 8th place hitter in the lineup with first base open and go to the pitcher in a 2-2 game in the middle innings. Because of who the 9th hitter is, who their pitcher is, Walt's not doing that because, with all due respect to Juan Perez, Madison Bumgarner is every bit as dangerous, if not more so. Bumgarner does this a lot. He did this against Christian Bergman earlier. He's got 5 home runs. To give you an idea, Bumgarner came in hitting .254. He was allowing the opposition to hit just .230 against him. So he's out hitting what they're hitting against him.
Well, and he has a home run against Clayton Kershaw this season.
Come on now. Who's got that, right?
Not a lot of guys.
1-2. Swung on and missed, and Flande strikes out Perez. Again, he limited the damage. Posey a home run to tie it. Then Bird doubled behind him. He gets the next 3. 2-2. And the Rockies will have Cargo leading off, then Willeen Rosario and Nick Hundley to face Madison Bumgarner. It's time for our Century Link to what's next. 4-game series in San Diego. Kyle Kendrick tomorrow against Ian Kennedy. The Rockies again go into a 6-man rotation with the return of Kendrick. John Gray against Ray on Tuesday. Chris Russin against James Shields on Wednesday. I said Tuesday, I'm sorry, with Gray. Jorge De La Rosa will go Thursday afternoon against Tyson Ross. Cargo's first time up an RBI groundout. His 86th RBI of the year. Nolan behind him, or in front of him, leading with 105 RBIs, but Cargo is among the league leaders now in ribbies as well. 1-1. So Cargo had those 2 ball games where he drove in back-to-back games 11 runs, which tied Larry Walker for the all-time Rockies mark for ribbies in 2 consecutive games. Here's the 1-1. And that's a base hit to left. In fact, that should be 2. And it will be. So Carlos Gonzalez going the other way. A leadoff double in a 2-2 game. Continues to put big numbers up against Bumgarner.
Well, Bumgarner had been attacking Carlos Gonzalez with high fastballs. This is a pitch down and away that Cargo's able to shoot the other way. That was 9 straight batters that Madison Bumgarner had retired until Carlos Gonzalez with this double right here.
So Cargo drove in with Walker 11 in 2 games. Then Cargo hit a home run the next day, a solo home run. So it was 12 in 3 games. It got us wondering. And Dougie checked on it. What was the Rockies' record for RBIs in 3 straight games? Figuring 12 had to be a pretty large number, right?
Had to be.
Look at Rosario breaking out the little game, and he almost beat it. A little small ball and a sac bunt for Willeen, and Bumgarner barely got there, and then barely got Willeen at first. So it's a sac bunt 1-3.
Well, Rosario going for the push bunt, surprising Madison Bumgarner, but look at the athleticism of Bumgarner, diving, getting to his knees, having a little trouble with the transfer, but still being able to make the throw on the Subaru Supermo. Very close play. I don't think they're going to challenge.
Now it's 1-4, by the way. That was Tomlinson covering. With every challenge called, this one hasn't been challenged yet, the Subaru EyeSight review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Well, now it is going to be reviewed. Little surprised by this, unless we see a different angle. It looked like Willeen was out. So while they're doing that, we'll take a look at it again. And ball back to the glove. Why would...
Well,
his foot wasn't on the bag. That's why. That's why. Okay. Now his foot did kick back. It looked like it kicked back in time. So that's what Brian Jones, who does a great job, saw underneath. But very quickly they say he was out. All right. So to finish up the Rockies record, 3 straight games, number of RBIs. It was set by Larry Walker.
How many?
The game after, so he has 11 in 2 games, right? The next day he had 4 more.
15?
15 in 3 games. But guess what? The game before his monster game, he had 2. So he had 17 in 4 games. He had 15 in 3, 17 in 4. So Nick Hundley, a chance to give the Rockies a lead. Infield comes in halfway on the left side.
The average velocity for Madison Bumgarner on a fastball this season is nearly 2 miles an hour more than when he first started, but it sits around 92 miles an hour. With guys in scoring position, you'll see the velocity start creeping up. We've already seen 94s, 95s when Nolan was hitting, Cargo in the first inning with runners in scoring position. So as a hitter, you got to understand, hey, he's going to ratchet it up.
Good swing. Oh, look at this great picture. Missy Franklin and Colorado Olympic and Paralympic alums at Coors Field this afternoon.
Bumgarner's used the curveball now more than he's ever used in his career. On average, using it 18% of the time. When he first started using his curveball in 2010 as part of his repertoire, he was only using it about 12% of the time. He actually used his changeup more when he first came into the big league. So now the changeup is a 2% pitch. It's not really a pitch he likes to use.
1-2, he misses. And it's 2-2.
Playing fantasy baseball, MLB.tv serves up real-time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players live or on demand on over 400 devices.
Good bat for Hundley. Two runs, 3 hits for the Rockies. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Giants. Cargo, who doubled at third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. See if Bumgarner gives in to Hundley. He's having a really good year. This is slowly hit to third, and the out recorded. And that's one that Cargo could not advance on. Duffy cut it off. And with 2 outs, it'll be up to Kyle Parker. Kyle's been scuffling. 1 for his last 26 at the plate. Be a wonderful way to break out of that.
He looked pretty bad his first at bat against Madison Bumgarner on a strikeout.
Beat him inside. It's 1-1. 94 on that fastball. Madison has got the Monica Seles going today, huh?
Yeah, it's U.S. Open time, so it's about right.
Parker slowly hit to third. Duffy comes up with it and throws him out. So the Rockies waste an opportunity. Cargo leadoff double, stranded at third. It remains 2-2 as we go to the 5th. They would score twice. They loaded the bases with no outs, an RBI ground out from Carlos Gonzalez, and then Willeen Rosario had a sac fly to left. And Buster Posey has been involved in. Now San Francisco has scored their 2 runs. A leadoff double in the second. He would score on a RBI ground out by Brandon Belt, and then a solo home run, the 17th of the year for Posey last inning, tied the game. It's also his 100th home run in a Giant uniform. Madison Bumgarner swings and misses. He struck out his first time, 1 of 2 strikeouts for Flande. Both of these guys, Billy, getting big outs when there's traffic. Obviously, Madison just did it a moment ago.
They have. They've been playing with fire throughout the entire game so far.
Towering pop-up left side. Arenado and Reyes. And Jose calls off Nolan.
I wanted to mention something to you, Drew, about Madison Bumgarner. We've been talking about how good of a hitter he was. His senior year in high school in 2007, hit .424 with 11 homers. But what's cool about it, he finished his prep career by hitting a walk-off 2-run inside the park home run to win a state title.
How about that? You know what? That's when some guys just have it, right? Some guys are just destined.
I'd love to see video of that if I could. If I can find it, I'm going to look for it.
He's a skinny little kid. Really ran fast.
Yeah, right.
Fouled off by Blanco. Gregor, a ground ball to first and a ground ball to second. Flande hanging tough with Bumgarner, and this is going to roll through the middle of the diamond for a base hit. So Blanco with 1 out, aboard for Kelby Tomlinson. He lined a double down the right field line his last time up.
Blanco's had good at bats since last night. Angel Pagan obviously having the day off today. Kind of needing somebody at the top of the lineup when you have Madison Bumgarner and the Giants with the chance to win the series. Makes sense with Gregor Blanco, the way he's been swinging the bat.
Tomlinson swings through that. It's 0-1. So Kelby coming out of the weight room earlier this morning. Most guys, most position guys, Billy, what they lift after the game. Some will do it before, huh?
Some will do it before. Sometimes if you're lifting before the game, it's part of your pre-routine. So there's a lot of stretching involved. You're using bands more. You're not going to the squat rack, and not a lot of guys do bench anymore. Bench is not a typical baseball workout anymore. Be surprised at the workouts that guys are doing.
Science has changed.
Yeah, it really has. It's a lot lower weights, a lot more advanced plyometrics, jumping, skater hops, probably stuff Missy Franklin's doing.
Being explosive.
Explosive moves, yes.
That's a base hit through the right side. Cargo keep Blanco at second. 2 on, 1 out. Matt Duffy coming up with Posey on deck. So another issue here for Yohan Flande in the 5th.
Tomlinson a big guy?
Not particularly, no. He can run, though.
He can fly.
Oh, look what the Rockies just tweeted out.
That's great. I remember those people.
What are we doing in that picture?
I don't know. We should be.
Steve Foster visiting. You have Matt Duffy at the plate. Matt, a ground ball to third and a fly ball to right. He's become a very viable Rookie of the Year candidate. Kind of put together a little group of who the most notable rookies are. Jock Peterson, I think if anybody were to vote around the All-Star break, they figure, well, Jock Peterson's going to win it. He really has tailed off in the second half, lost a lot of playing time. Chris Bryant may be the early September leader. Then Matt Duffy, he's got nothing to be ashamed about. Leading in batting average, he's hit some home runs, he's driven in runs. And we just saw Gong when we were in Pittsburgh. Boy, he's a good-looking player also. Playing short third. Can't forget Noah Syndergaard, Kyle Schwarber. Kyle came up a little bit later with the Cubs. Addison Russell, obviously. Chris Heston, I know he was sent out recently, but Heston won 11 games, threw a no-hitter. Good class, huh?
It's a good, solid class of baseball players. Chris Bryant hit a homer off of the scoreboard today at Wrigley Field.
The one in center field, that scoreboard?
I'm going to look it up. I think it's the one, the new Jumbotron in left field that they just put up.
Yeah, because if you hit the scoreboard in center field.
That's like 4 miles. Maybe farther.
Yeah, it's like 4.2 miles. They trying to get a ground ball. Asking you shall receive. Here's the video.
It's not a good 0-2 strike pitch. Oh my goodness.
1-1. They're going to score that a hit.
That's a big kid right there, Chris Bryant.
He's 6'5". Every bit of 6'5".
He's a Toro.
That's right.
University of San Diego. Where does this thing hit?
Oh my goodness. Right between Toyota and the Under Armour symbol. Remember Glenn Allen Hill hit the one on the houses when I was a kid. That was
G. Hill saying that's nothing.
That's nothing. Yeah, I got that easy.
0-2 on Duffy. 2 on and 1 out. Time called by Duffy. Misses. So estimated at 495 feet. That's all, huh? It is the longest in baseball this year. Can they please come out and say that one went 506? It's like there's a rule. I've said this for years. There's a rule against saying a home run went 500 feet. Why is that?
I have no idea. And
have you noticed that?
I have noticed that, and I've also noticed this year there's been a lot more longer home runs than I recall. I don't know if the ball is a little tighter, but I've seen a lot more 440, 450, 600. Well, no, it doesn't get over 500, but there's been some long home runs hit this year.
This ball's well hit center field. Barnes going back and dives, can't get it. Blanco has scored. Tomlinson around third. He will score. It'll be a triple for Matt Duffy, and it's 4-2 San Francisco.
That was probably the collection of the 3 fastest base runners I've seen on a major league field scoring, between Gregor Blanco, Tomlinson, and Duffy. And this was a ball that was just left out over the plate. And Duffy, we've been talking about Chris Bryant being a potential Rookie of the Year guy. Duffy should be in this conversation. Barnes with the great effort, just barely missing that baseball. But you're watching Gregor Blanco score from second pretty easy. Tomlinson was trying to catch him, and Duffy's right on Tomlinson. That's an easy triple for Matt Duffy.
The Rockies will put Posey on, create an opportunity to produce 2 outs with 1 swing with Marlon Byrd behind him. The question is, will Flande face Byrd? And this is not altogether untypical of, or atypical of, Flande. A lot of times he's strong the first 2 times through the lineup, and then he scuffles a little bit 3rd time through. And here the 3rd time through, it's been single, single, triple. Now the intentional pass to Posey, who's got a double and a home run.
And you're right, 3 times through the lineup where Flande has faced the lineup. The OPS, on base plus slugging, goes up to 1,000, where it starts off around 900 first time through, 750 second time through, and then 1,000 third time through.
So Walt will take the baseball from Yohan Flande. Walt has great respect for Flande and how he goes about his business, but he's gone after 4 1/3. Rockies trailing 4-2. Brooks Brown will be aboard when we come back. Happy family at the ballpark. Gotta love it. Right now, the Rockies got to get off the field. They've been out hit 8-3, 1st and 3rd after the walk to Posey. Marlon Byrd stepping up. Brooks Brown is in the ball game as Yohan Flande contemplates his outing on the Rockies bench. Brown just off the disabled list. 2nd appearance since he came off the list.
When he went on the disabled list, it was June the 16th, so he's been sorely missed. Walt talked about Brooks Brown as liking his stuff and his makeup.
He's had to persevere. Former 1st-round pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think anytime somebody gets drafted in the 1st round, they think it's going to be smooth sailing to the big leagues and a long and prosperous career, and it very infrequently works that way.
It's not 100% if you get drafted in the 1st round that you ever even make the major leagues, let alone stick around for a long time.
30% of 1st-rounders never get to the big leagues. And there's probably a portion of 1st-rounders, in fairness, that get there because they were 1st-rounders and there's a lot of money invested and maybe didn't truly earn it.
No doubt.
Bird, a couple hits, single and a double today. And he's got another one. He's got another RBI. That's 5 runs now for the Giants. They're up 5-2. Bird was scuffling coming into the ball game. I don't think you could apply that statement anymore. 1 for his last 19 coming in, and now he's 3 for 3. And with Brandon Belt coming up, Walt's going to make another move. He's going to go to Rex Brothers. Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com and by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Pretty Sunday afternoon. The Rockies had a 2-0 lead, but the Giants have been putting runs together of late, and they now have a 5-2 lead. They got a run in the second, a run in the fourth, 3 here in the fifth. Runners at first and second. Brandon Belt against Rex Brothers. Saw Rex the other night, threw 1 pitch and got out of an inning.
And that's what you want to see. Walt was mentioning before the game, Rex for 3 straight years had over 70 appearances for the Rockies, and Walt mentioned, based on what he saw last night, he really hopes to see Rex being the type of guy, the workhorse that he was for those last couple of years.
Well, for Rex, you know the deal. It all comes down to throwing consistent strikes. And anybody who's been his teammate or has been around him, or in the case of Walt managed him, you root really hard for Rex Brothers.
Can't help it.
Good pitch. It's 0-2.
Last night threw a fastball for a double play against Brandon Bell. He started 2 sliders. I think the fastball command for Rex was what had been hurting him. Three straight sliders.
Crawford's on deck, couple of left-handers. Here's the 1-2 on Belt. David Hale is now warming up. With September call-ups, you can mix and match in innings that you may not have ordinarily done so during the first 5 months of the season. You probably wouldn't be able to mix and match in the 5th inning of a game in July, but you have a lot of arms at your disposal now in September, so you can do that.
Yeah, we call it double barrel. Double barrel means you have a righty and a lefty in the bullpen. And when you're going double barrel in the 5th inning, that's not a typical thing you see in a major league game unless it's September.
3-2. Slider or fastball?
Slider. That's the one he showed he can command this at bat.
Well, he didn't come close with that slider. And now the bases are loaded for Crawford. Rockies need a break. You're already down 3 runs to Bumgarner. That's never a good thing. And the bases are loaded with 1 out for the Giants. They are in desperate need of a double play ball here.
And Crawford fell victim to Rex Brothers with the first pitch double play last night.
Crawford, a ground ball to second and a line drive to center. And this ball is hit very well to center field. That's over Barnes' head. First 2 have scored. Going around third is Belt. He gets a green light. Throw to the plate is in time to get Brandon Belt. So it's a 2-run double for Crawford. And it is 7-2. Belt looked like he got to third, and Roberto Kelly sent him on home, and he's like, really?
Well, and we know Brandon Belt coming off of being sick yesterday. Brandon Crawford 1 for 8 this season with the bases loaded, make that 2 for 9. Saw 1 pitch last night, grounded into the double play. 1 pitch today, and he hits the double. You can see Brandon Belt was not running hard the entire way. I think Roberto Kelly's wondering what was going on.
And you may have to chalk that up to the 24-hour flu he had yesterday.
No doubt.
Well, the Rockies are now down a 5 spot. And Walt went out. I thought it was to make a double switch, but he's getting the umpires together, it looks like. And Jim Joyce is looking in the Giant dugout. You have any idea what's going on?
Both bench coaches are on the phone.
Or maybe Bochy said he missed the tag. Is that part of the deal? Or?
Could be.
I think that was part of it. Before Walt made the double switch, Bochy was contemplating challenging the out call at the plate. So now Walt will make the double switch. Rafael Ynoa is going to come in the ball game. Kyle Parker will come out. He made the last out. And David Hale, who's been a starting pitcher, will come in. And obviously Walt now with the game at 7-2 wants to get some length out of Hale. That's why he's double switching this. 7-2. We're in the 5th inning. Back in a moment. after 1 inning of play. Double switch again. Rafael Inoa in for Parker in left field. David Hale is now on the mound. And the Princeton grad will face Juan Perez here in the 5th inning. 2 outs. Brandon Belt cut down on that double by Crawford. So Crawford's at second base, and the 9th man to hit in the inning will be Perez. Book on Flande. 4 1/3, 6 runs, all of them earned on 8 hits. Didn't get help behind him though. Brown gave up a hit, the one batter he faced. And then Rex Brothers faced 2. He walked Belt and gave up the booming double to Crawford. One ball, 1 strike. Giants won yesterday 7-3. That was just their 3rd road victory in their last 17 games.
Well, they lost 10 of their last 14. Those are just strange Giants numbers, and they've been swept by teams this year 7 different times.
Well, they've had 3 7-game losing streaks, which you don't normally associate with a team over 500 in September. Giants 70-66. 7.5 back at the beginning of play today. The Dodgers are winning again in San Diego 2-1 in the 6th inning. They know the drill. They're going to have to go on a heck of a run and hope that the Dodgers go the other direction.
And they have the chance to do that. They have their reinforcements coming in. Joe Panik's coming back tomorrow.
They're getting Jeremy Affeldt back on, this should end the inning, on Tuesday as well.
And Hunter Pence is only a couple days away as well.
5-run inning for the Giants. 7-2 they lead. Rockies were up 2-0. Buster Posey's got a couple of hits, including his 100th career home run. Matt Duffy a 2-run triple. Brandon Crawford a 2-run double. The Giants have out-hit the Rockies this afternoon 10-3. So the Rockies with work to do, down by 5. Brandon Barnes will lead it off, and then Rafael Ynoa and Jose Reyes 8-9-1 against Madison Bumgarner, who after giving up 2 in the first has allowed exactly 1 base runner. That was a double by Cargo leading off the 4th, but the Rockies could not cash that in. With Ryan Spilborghs, I'm Drew Goodman. Spilly, you don't look a day over 36.
It's because I am. Well, technically, I'm 1 day over 36. But why would you change that much in 1 day?
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I was just verifying with you that
I'm old.
No,
older.
Just complimenting you.
Thanks.
1-1 on Barnes, who had a fly ball to center his first time. One and two. Bumgarner working on Barnes. And that's a ground ball to the left side. So Barnes gets the Rockies hopefully going here in the 5th with a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Ynoa. Checking some of the other divisions. The Mets lost today. The Nationals swept the Braves. The Braves are just awful right now.
They are.
And it's now a 4-game separation. Nationals keeping the heat on the Mets. Bryce Harper hit his 34th in that game. See the Pirates and Cubs, the 2 wild card teams. That's why I think the Nationals and the Giants, realistically, if they have any hopes of playing in October, it's got to be through winning their division.
And for the Giants, they're going to have games against the Dodgers. I believe they have 6 games left against the Dodgers, so there is a chance that they can come through. The wild card, you're right. I mean, you're chasing the Pirates and the Cubs, and those 2 teams right now are playing very, very good baseball
and have been for a while. This is lined to right, and it's going to get down. Good read by Barnes. Had to see it down. First and second for Jose Reyes. A little traffic created here by the bottom of the order. Nobody out in the Rockies half of the 5th.
And Jose Reyes, we were talking about with Walt again during the press conference today about how he's gotten his footing. He is now probably settled into being a Colorado Rocky. He was 22 for his last 66 coming into today. Had a single his very first at bat. Starting to see the quality approach of Jose. I know when he first came to this team, he didn't look like the Jose Reyes I've seen in the past. Now we're starting to see the better at bats.
Now Reyes last night had a triple and a single in the ball game. This is off the top of the glove of Blanco. That drove in a run and a solid single. And on the error by Blanco, he moved to second. Tough night defensively for Gregor Blanco. 2-0 right now on Reyes. Okay, if Jose pushes a bunt right here.
Oh, he's standing on first.
It'd be in all likelihood loaded up, but now it's 3-0 with Adames on deck. We talk about the opportunities being rare when you're facing a guy like Bumgarner. Rockies loaded the bases in the first, nobody out to take the quick 2-0 lead. They took advantage. They're to get back in the game. It looks like this is the inning.
You have to. You've had another opportunity with Cargo when he had the leadoff double. You have to find a way to score at least a run this inning.
Bumgarner's thrown 76 pitches. 3-1, 3-2.
It is such a difficult pitch to hit, the little inside cutter that Madison Bumgarner throws to the right-handed batters. It's just, as an approach, as a hitter, you're taught to hit the ball up the middle. And this is you have to pull the bat head out in front, almost like you're trying to pull the ball foul. Otherwise, if you try to hit the ball up the middle, you shatter your bat.
This is looped foul. Line to left, another base hit. 3 straight singles to load the bases for the Rockies with Christian Adames coming up. Barnes to third, Inoue to second. Many times do you load the bases, period, against Bumgarner. Now the Rockies have done it twice in one game.
And Dave Ricchetti's coming out to talk to Matt Bum to figure out how they're going to get Christian Adames. But again, here's another cutter inside for the right-hander. Like I just mentioned, it almost feels like you have to pull the ball foul to get the bat head out in front just enough to not shatter your bat. That ball just barely below the barrel, so he didn't hit that ball, squared it up, but he still got enough of it to shoot it into left field. A good piece of hitting by Jose Reyes.
Christian Adames, who in just a brief look in this particular stint in the big leagues has swung it very well. He's looked in control, like he belongs, offensively and defensively. He does not look overmatched by his surroundings.
Not at all. And I think last year the cup of coffee helped him. This year he had a great year at AAA. I think when you're a guy like Christian Adames and you're so close to just cracking the big leagues and getting the cup of coffee the year before, it's not that this is an old hat. It's just that he understands, okay, it's still baseball. It's still baseball, and I can play this game.
Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arenado's on deck. Cargo behind him. Hard on the ground to the left side. That has scored 1. Green light for Inoue. He'll score. 2-run single, Christian Adames. Here come the Rockies. 7-4.
Another great at bat about for Christian Adames. A single that he hit it to right field first inning. Here's another fastball. It kind of didn't get in enough under the right-hander's hands. Christian Adames has had a great season. He hit .311 in AAA with 11 homers, 51 RBIs. He's showing Walt right now what he can do with the bat. That is a tough pitcher that he's getting these hits off of. 2 for 3 on the day so far.
Now you have the co-home run leaders in the National League. One at the plate, one on deck. Tying run in Nolan Arenado. Nobody out. Nolan takes a good look at that below the knees. 1-0 back in June. Nolan on a breaking ball. Squared one up at AT&T against Madison Bumgarner. 9 home runs this year for Arenado against the Giants. Nolan's got an RBI in 8 straight. Cargo has a team record back in 2011. He drove a run in 11 straight. Vinny 10 straight back in 04. Todd 9 straight along with Bichette. And this is nope, he beat it. Oh, they called him out. They got to check that out. I thought
he's
with the naked eye.
I think he's pointing to the bag, saying that he missed the bag.
Well, if he missed the bag, then obviously it's not going to work out. How do you miss the bag, Spilly? Let's see. And he tried to lunge, and you know what? He didn't get the bag. You're right. He would have been safe. Now, did he kick it with his toe going by? Ball and glove. No, he's out. He did kick it with his toe.
Yeah, the slide over it. But for the Rockies, we saw last night with Hector Sanchez, I would prefer him to touch the bag, but not diving to the first base bag by leaping.
That obviously a huge double play. Cargo now with Reyes at third. Cargo doubled his last time up, an RBI ground out in the first. 23 home runs since the All-Star break. To give you an idea of how extraordinary that is. The second most home runs in the league since the All-Star break. The triumvirate of Rizzo, Schwarber, and Joey Votto of the Reds. And there's the group. Nolan's got 11. When you're a leg lifter, when you lift, to keep that timing, it's so important that it's in sync with the delivery, obviously, of the pitcher. And Bumgarner, since he turns, if you notice, Cargo's hanging the leg a little bit longer.
Well, and that's part of the leg lift. You have to be able to control your leg lift.
This ball ripped, but it's right out. Brandon Bell. And walking off the mound, Madison Bumgarner's yelled in his glove. The Rockies get a pair. Visit Tavern downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Saratoga Casino, so new, so you. David Hale got the final out of what was a 5-run 5th inning for the Giants. The Rockies used 4 pitchers that inning. And it's Madison Bumgarner leading off the 6th. Dustin Garneau is now behind the plate. Try to find out as to why. He replaces Nick Hundley. Cargo's line shot, had it been 3 feet to the right or left, you're talking about a 7-5 game instead of in the back of Brandon Belt's glove. That was a big line out.
That was a big line out. You and I were talking in between the break. It's amazing when you see Cargo going up against some other lefties and flailing away, but a guy like Madison Bumgarner, he goes up there and
it's like soft tossing
for him. His own personal batting practice pitcher. It's amazing, but that happens. Some guys see certain guys a certain way, and
early in your career, you had great numbers against Kershaw. That's a line base hit for Bumgarner. In fact, it's a tweener. And Madison, who loves to hit, has a double.
It's only his 2nd double this season. He has 5 home runs.
You didn't mess with doubles, dude.
Well, he had the inside the Parker in that prep championship game. You can see Madison Bumgarner has a high leg kick too. He sits behind the baseball. Looks like Buster Posey right there for 1 second. But then he looked like Madison Bumgarner.
You know what he is? He loves to play. We talk about Nolan. Nolan loves to play every day. Bumgarner is bummed out that he only gets to play every 5th day. Here's Gregor Blanco. And I'll repeat what I said earlier in the game. Had this conversation with him a couple of days ago. Bumgarner loves playing at Coors Field. He loves pitching here. He loves everything about it. And there aren't too many visiting pitchers I've heard utter those words. Even guys who've had success here.
Most of the time you hear a guy come to Coors Field, they complain. Oh, the ball feels slick. Oh, you get a ball hit in the air, it's a homer. You hear a lot more complaints than praises. Oh, I love pitching here. This place is great. Well, Bochy, you were saying he doesn't get a chance to play but once every 5th day. Bochy's used Bumgarner a couple times this season in pinch hit situations, and Bumgarner's come through either working a walk, getting a base hit.
One, two, and this is in the air to right. Adames backs up, makes the play. Blanco retired. That'll bring up Tomlinson.
That's not a good team quality at bat for Gregor Blanco right there. You'd like to see a ball on the ground, especially Blanco being a ground ball type hitter. But that is also a good piece of pitching right there. Trying to jam him, throw him up and in, so you get that fly ball.
Two for 3 this afternoon, a double and a single for Kelby Tomlinson. Speculation on Tomlinson, and I guess it'll be up to him to change some of that speculation, is that going forward he could be one of those super utility guys. Plays second, third, good enough athlete to run in the outfield.
Like a Josh Harrison? That wouldn't be a bad career to have.
He became an all-star doing it a year ago for the Pirates. And let's think back to a few years ago for the Angels, a guy that was a Rockies farmhand was able to do it
racking my brain right here.
Yeah, come on, giving you a chance here. He went up to Seattle. Two outs. Give up yet?
Willie Bloomquist is another name I'm thinking of, and I know that's not it.
Willie played at ASU.
Yep, and that's another super utility. Great career.
This guy was with the Rockies as a minor leaguer and then got traded.
Josh Wilson?
No. His first name spelled a little differently, but a common sounding first name. That's the biggest hint I can give you. Two outs. Matt Duffy at the plate. Sean Figgins.
Oh, come on, Billy.
But right, Sean Figgins
Great
with the Angels
utility.
was a super utility guy. Because it looks like, Duffy's put down roots at third. Panic's put down roots at second. And speaking of second, that'll end the inning on a ground ball to Christian Adames. So a leadoff double by Bumgarner. He does not move any further. 7-4 Giants, middle of 6. Lexus dealer. Rockies were up 2-0, then it was 2-1, and then Posey tied it up with a solo home run in the 4th inning. And then the Giants had a 5-run fifth. Matt Duffy with a 2-run triple, and later on in the inning it was Brandon Crawford with a 2-run double. Rockies got some runs back by scoring a couple in the bottom of the 5th inning. Christian Adames with a 2-run single after loading the bases for the 2nd time today against Bumgarner. 7-4, the Giants leading as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Willeen Rosario will be first against the big left-hander out of Hickory, North Carolina. He signed out of high school with the University of North Carolina, but he went the first round and went to the Giants, never played college baseball. That class, and one that was already there, had they been able to get all the guys to play college baseball at Chapel Hill, he was telling me would have had, and I remember this vaguely,
like Matt Harvey.
They would have had Matt Harvey, Madison Bumgarner, Rick Porcello,
wow,
and Alex White, because White did go there. The other three all signed: Harvey, Porcello, and Bumgarner. Rollover ground ball to third, 1 out. Is that now who gets the midweek game? You got it right.
Alex White,
I guess.
Wow. Well, and they had Andrew Miller there. Chris Iannetta was there. He got drafted, I believe, in 2000.
That was the one I forgot too. Andrew Miller was there also.
That's right.
So that would have been a 5-some. Was that? Is that not a pretty good big league rotation?
I remember there was a rotation with Rice. a couple years ago, and I got to look up the draft class, but they had 3 first-rounders out of that Rice team. Coors Field is available year-round for special events, and most areas of the ballpark can be reserved. Call 303-ROCKIES for info. I'm going to reserve Coors Field. I want to throw a cornhole tournament in the outfield. That's what I'm going to do.
We should do that. Put one together for charity. How big would that be? Everybody loves doing that.
Yeah.
Greatest backyard game ever invented. Dustin Garneau's first at bat. Again, no word yet from the Rockies clubhouse on why Nick Hundley had to leave. You always think of a guy running or with a catcher, a foul tip of some sort. I don't recall anything, do you?
Recall, but there's so many times that a guy will take what looks innocent to us up here was, especially with the concussions and the protocols, and just a simple foul ball. May not have looked bad from up here, may have nicked him.
2 on Garneau. And a base hit. The first time Dustin Garneau sees the World Series MVP. Serves a single to left field. 8th hit for the Rockies this afternoon. I'll bring up Daniel Descalso. He's going to hit the pitcher spot here.
With all these advanced stats and people being able to keep track of certain things, you're able to see what is the batting average that Madison Bumgarner, what do people hit against him when he starts getting into these high pitch counts at 95 pitches? Well, I'll let you know, between 76 and 100 pitches, batting average is still 242.
Because he's a horse, man. He gets stronger. He's a rare breed.
He is rare. OPS still at 641.
And the Rockies loaded the bases last inning, and then the Adames base hit. Descalso hits this high in the air right center field. Bird calling for it to make the catch. You look down there, and I think, you know, with virtually every other pitcher in baseball, there's a select few that would be. There'd have been, especially in September, action in the bullpen. There was nothing going on.
I was going to try to say that earlier. You're looking at the 5th inning. The Giants are up 7-2. I'm considering, hey, the Giants score an extra run. If you're Bruce Bochy, are you going to pull Madison Bumgarner out in the 6th inning? No chance. You're going to let him go because he's never proved that he gets tired. This season, after 101 pitches, Drew, in 37 at bats, he still struck out 12. It's actually his highest strikeout to walk ratio, over 100 pitches.
You want to know why? Because he knows he's nearing the finish line. He empties the tank.
It's amazing.
2 outs. Barnes 1 for 2, singled and scored last inning. This is bounced up the middle, and it's going to get through. Looked like miscommunication there between Crawford and Tomlinson. And a topspin ground ball goes through for Barnes, and that'll bring up Rafael Inoa. 2 on and 2 outs.
Brandon Crawford ranging to his left. He is pulled way over, and you can see the miscommunication right there. That's still on the left side of the bag. That's where Brandon Crawford's ball. But based on the shift that they had, I think he was hoping Kelby would be able to get there and flip it. A lot of times when they start employing these shifts, you're putting guys in different spots that they're really accustomed to being in.
This ball's driven to center field and deep, and it is caught out there by Gregor Blanco. Good swing of the bat by Rafael Inoa, but it'll be the 3rd out. We'll go to the 7th, 7-4 San Francisco. men and women at Peterson Air Force Base in honor of Labor Day. And we'll get to know a little more about Rockies catcher Dustin Garneau. All of that, the best plays of the week. That's today after the postgame show on Rockies Weekly. Your Goodman Ryan Spilborg, 7-4. Madison Bumgarner and the Giants in front. Buster Posey in the 7th inning will lead things off. This is a tweet from Matt Harvey. I hope everyone knows I've always wanted to pitch every single chance I get.
But he's got his blog on the Players Tribune.
You're right, and he's whispered in my ear that he also continued on and said that he plans on pitching in the playoffs. Now he's only 12 innings and change shy of that now magic number of 180 that has been so frequently discussed. Particularly this week. Justin Miller's going to take over in the top of the 7th for the Rockies. We do have word as to why Nick Hundley had to leave. Neck stiffness, the word from the Rockies clubhouse. And Spilly, what do you think he is?
Day to day.
Day to day.
We all are.
Buster Posey takes a strike. It's 0-1. Posey, a double and a run scored, a home run, and an intentional walk in which he scored. So he has crossed home plate 3 times today. David Hale went an inning and a third. Gave up 1 hit, nothing else across. A broken bat, fly ball to shallow center. Barnes will make the catch, 1 out.
A lot of times for outfielders, there's 2 things that outfielders are reading. You're reading the swing of the bat, where the pitch is, but you also use your ears. I think people get surprised. They're like, what do you mean you use your ears? Well, the sound of the bat, the crack of the bat. In that case with Buster Posey, he breaks his bat. As you see a big swing that he takes, but you hear the sound and hear a bat break, you know you can run forward. In batting practice, an outfielder can actually go, and most infielders, you can stand in any part of the field, turn your back on batting practice, not see where the ball is, and know where the ball is going based on the sound of the bat.
Marlon Byrd 3 for 3, single, double, single. He's driven in a run, scored a run. Guys have been around a long time, Spilly. Don't panic when they're in a 1 for 19.
No. Been in so many 1 for 19s that it doesn't matter. I mean,
how do you truly keep your confidence when you're going through one of those rough patches, and it's not just, hey, hard outs but nothing to show for it? It's like, I can barely make contact, and you feel awful at the plate. How do you maintain the fact that, hey, I evidently have done some good things because I'm here?
Yeah, you know that. You know at the back of your mind, I'm here for a reason. I think some guys, one of the best bits of advice was G. Hill when I was in the minor leagues. Told me, hey, compartmentalize your bats in groups of 10. Just try to get 3 hits and 10 at bats. So then it doesn't feel overwhelming to you if you go for a 1 for 19.
This is in the air to left. Noah scrambles over, makes the catch.
Because now you're thinking, if I go 0 for 10, I go, okay, I was 0 for 10. Scratch that off. Then I think I'm 1 for 9. I was like, yeah, I was 1 for 9. But right now, Marlon Byrd, if you start a new 10, which he did, he's like, hey, 3 for my last 4. I'm raking.
Everybody in that bullpen may get an opportunity today. Christian Freeman is coming on to face Brandon Belt in the 7th. Walt trying to keep this thing close for his offense. afternoon. It's getaway day for the Rockies. They're off to San Diego, and the Giants will continue their 10-game road trip. They'll be in Arizona. Who wants tacos? Fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 in a game or more. Brandon Belt with 2 outs, and Christian Friedrich has the baseball. Rockies down just 3. Hunter Strickland is warming in the Giants bullpen. And the way he's throwing, it looks like Madison Bumgarner is done. Bell with a base hit. Takes a violent swing, doesn't he?
He does. He really does. I have him as having more helmets falling off per swing than anyone else in the major leagues. I think that's an advanced stat. I haven't found it yet. That ball's right off the end of the bat. It's a little cutter down and away to Brandon Belt. You can see that. I mean, that is directly off the end of the bat. That probably hurts your hands.
Feels a little better, though, because he got a knock
no
out
doubt.
of it. Brandon Crawford, a 2-run double with the bases loaded in the 5th. 12 hits this afternoon for the Giants after they produced 15 yesterday. Remember, during their 7-game losing streak, they're averaging a little over 2 runs a game. After today, they'll have 9 more road games and 16 at home. And 3 of the road games, Billy, will come across the bay in the East Bay against the A's, and half the crowd will be rooting for the Giants. At least
half the crowd. The other half are Seagulls.
Pretty much. They have the smartest Seagulls in the world in Northern California, because they always start gathering around 10:15. They know when the ball game should be over.
Well,
and then they have a really nice feast on all the leftovers that the fans have been kind enough to leave behind.
And they know when the Giants are on the road and when Oakland's on the road.
Right. Then they fly down to San Jose and get a little minor league grub.
Yeah.
But we digress. 2-2 with 2 outs on Brandon Crawford with Belt at first. And a ground ball to second. Adames comes and gets it. And he throws over to Rosario. That'll end the inning. Middle of 7, the Rockies down 7-4. They'll try to get after that Giant bullpen, and we invite you to stick around and enjoy a rendition of God Bless America here on a beautiful Sunday in early September.
Fans, the Colorado Rockies are proud to host and honor those who sacrifice on behalf of us all. With us on the field today is Cryptologic Technician, Technical Senior Chief Rick Bugrin. Senior Chief Bugrin has been on active duty for 22 years with the United States Navy and has been stationed on board multiple ships around the world. During his career, he has completed 5 overseas deployments and recently reported to the Navy Information Operation Command at Buckley Air Force Base. He is joined today on the field by his wife Tamara and sons Colin and Eli. Fans, please give a warm hero's welcome to Senior Chief Rick Bugrin and all of our nation's brave servicemen and women and their families. We thank you for your service and sacrifice. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country with the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today representing the United States Air Force Academy Band, is Senior Airman Adrian Holton. Please welcome Senior Airman Holton and join him by singing along to God Bless America.
Interesting game. The Rockies up 2-0, down 7-2. They've closed to 7-4. Bottom of the 7th inning, 9 outs to work with. And it's the top of the Rockies' orders. They'll try to get after Hunter Strickland and that giant bullpen. And this is on the ground sharply up the middle, but Crawford grabs it and throws out Jose Reyes. So with one gone, that'll bring up Christian Adames. The numbers on Strickland, and he's been busy in this series. 3rd time he has visited the mound.
Yeah, he threw an inning last night, only gave up 1 hit. He is throwing the ball very hard when he has given up the hit. We joked last night, it was an 88-mile-an-hour changeup off Ben Paulson, to Ben Paulson. Already seen first pitch fastball at 97 miles an hour.
Just one time, I'd like to know what that feels like.
Well, it feels pretty weird when it comes off the hand like that. 98, that's strange.
Excuse me, Billy?
Yeah, I throw 98 out. Someone's getting challenged today with their scorebook.
Well, on the pitching side, yeah. I mean, the Rockies You know, Walt is going to, if you got all the arms down there and you can match up, why not do it? That's what he's doing in the middle innings, and it's working out. The Rockies, at least lately, didn't work out so well in the 5th inning. Rex got hit a little bit. The Rockies gave up a 5 spot in that inning. 7-4, 1 out. Arenado's on deck. Adames had a 2-run single his last time up. And this will be an easy play for Duffy. 2 gone.
Shadows are creeping in over Coors Field, so there's a difference now. You got the mound is in the sun. You have the shade of the lights, the Coors Field lights, starting to cover in between the grass, between the pitching rubber and home plate. And there is a difference when you've seen the baseball. It comes out bright, and then it gets dark. The advantage right now is for the pitcher.
You know what Nolan needs to do right now?
Hit a homer.
He needs to go deep. 6 straight games with a home run, a Rockies record. So far this afternoon, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. The crowd got excited for a moment. He hit one off the label to fairly deep left field in the 3rd. Got a list of the guys that have produced a stretch of 7 or more games in a row with a home run. At the top, Dale Long, Don Mattingly, and a guy going to the Hall of Fame next year, Junior. This ball is in the air, right center field, pretty well hit, but Bird will make the catch a stride or 2 in front of the track, and that'll end the inning. So we'll go to the 8th. The Rockies down 7-4 to the Giants. And with 7 runs on 12 hits, the Giants ahead of the Rockies, 4 runs, 9 hits. The Giants trying to earn the split. Posey's been involved. Marlon Bird's got 3 hits. Christian Adames with his first 2 career ribbies. We go to the 8th inning. Juan Perez will lead things off for the Giants, the bottom of their order. And Gonzalez Germain is now in for the Rockies. And is there another change out there?
Daza. He's going to be pitching for Juan Perez.
Diaz, the guy who had cleanup yesterday. How about that?
And he was going to be the backup emergency catcher today.
Well, they got one because Jackson Williams arrived.
So Daza gets a play now.
Germain is the 6th pitcher out of the bullpen today for the Rockies. 7th, obviously, in all. I got room on my scorebook sheet for one more pitcher.
I went today with the scorecard that they provide you because I had a feeling.
That's weak. That's amateur. How are we breaking you in?
Well, my book is, I'll have to show you my book. My book is kind of messed up.
I saw your book. You did a nice job with it. What happened to it?
It doesn't have enough spots for pitchers. I have 4 lines for him. I need.
Can I help you out? Didn't I give you one of these?
No, you didn't.
I didn't share with you in spring training? Angel Pagan is going to pinch hit. So Diaz are gone. So Pagan hit a home run yesterday. We talked a lot about this. It ended a stretch, Spilly, of 698 at bats without a home run. Guess who now has the longest stretch in baseball? He plays in the National League. He plays on the best team in baseball. Those are your 2 hints.
Okay, he's on the Cardinals.
Right. Kind of gave that one away, didn't
I? Yachty or Molina?
Why, Yachty hits home runs. He hits a handful every year. Remember, it doesn't have to be an everyday guy. It's just a guy that hasn't hit a home run in a great number of at-bats.
I'm trying to think of guys off the bench.
It's a hard question.
It is hard.
You're going through the roster in your head. He's an infielder. Not surprisingly.
Pete Cosmo.
Give me some.
Yeah,
nice.
There you go. I got it.
You're 1 for 2 today.
And I should have gone Sean Figgins. I knew that one.
Within 25 at bats, how many ABs has it been since he's hit a home run?
Oh, 430.
Not bad. 514.
Okay.
2-2 on Pagan. And Jermaine misses 3-2.
I think my favorite part about Pagan's homer last night was when he came into the dugout. Looked like he was talking to Bam Bam Mullins about how he did it. He's like, you know, I got my bat head out in front. Like, this is how you're supposed to do it. He hadn't hit one in nearly 700 at bats.
Right. And now he's an expert.
Yeah, he's an expert. Yeah, like that.
I'm actually a little surprised at that he went that long, because Pagan is a decent sized guy who takes unbelievable care of himself. He's very strong. And I know there's obviously more to it than that. But you'd think, you know, he'd hit a few home runs. Pagan is notorious in his native Puerto Rico, and he has a family and everything. It's almost like a boxer who has a fight coming up.
Right.
Right before the fight, he goes away in seclusion to train for 3 or 4 weeks, and then comes back, and the Rocky theme music comes on. That's what Pagan has done every winter prior to heading off to spring training.
A side note on that, he trains in jeans.
That's real old school.
Yeah. I know for a fact he trains in jeans. It's almost guys give him a lot of grief about it. I don't know if they're cutoff jeans. I don't know if they're shorts now, but I know he trains in jeans.
I got one of my best friends in the world in the booth. We grew up together, played football together in New York. Matt Cacciato, one of our old teammates. Lenny DeBerry. He moved. We lived a little north of the city. He moved up from Queens. Freshman football practice. He shows up, and everybody's in our kind of
athletic shorts.
Yeah, athletic shorts.
Normal
back in the late 70s. That's a fair ball. Garneau's throw low, picked up nicely by Reyes. And they get the force out. Great pick.
Garneau jumping out of his catcher's squat like a cat, jumps on it, doesn't even wait for the umpire to tell him whether it's fair or foul. Not able to get a great grip on the baseball. You can see he's holding a changeup grip, but throws it down to second base, and Jose Reyes just sets the glove down and almost hopes that it's going to bounce up. That is an excellent pick by Jose Reyes.
Very soft hands. Kelby Tomlinson at the plate. So anyhow, my buddy Lenny, he shows up in the cutoff jean shorts for the first day of football practice. I got to clean this up a little bit, be politically correct. A white sleeveless T-shirt, which has been called a number of other things, right? And he had cigarettes rolled up in the top part of the cart. You know, a pack of cigarettes rolled up in the top. Remember that?
Is he a good player?
He was a great player, and you know what? He's one of our best friends in the world. One of the great characters. He's been tremendously successful. But that first day and the first impression, it truly was like the city kid coming to suburbia. Looked at like the cat in Bad News Bears, the original Bad News Bears.
Yeah, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly Leak.
0-2 on Kelby Tomlinson. 2 for 4, single and a double for Tomlinson. And no, got a piece of it. No, he didn't. Swung on and missed. Tomlinson gone. Good job by Germain. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Rockies trail by 3 runs. Cargo to lead it off. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price and sales and service guaranteed. And by StubHub, Rockies fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized just for you? Get the StubHub app today. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies trailing 7-4. Cargo will be first, and naturally Bruce Bochy will go to his bullpen and look for a left-hander, and it's the veteran, the former Rocky Javi Lopez, who faced a hitter in yesterday's ball game. Until recently, Javi remained a Colorado resident, moving back toward the East Coast now. Diaza stays in the ball game. He is in left field. He hit for Juan Perez. Cargo takes a strike. Cargo, an RBI ground out in the first, a double in the fourth, and then a rocket that would have scored a run because Reyes was on third with 2 outs in the 5th inning, but it was right at Brandon Belt. And that's called a strike also. Now, if you're a left-handed hitter, Spill, you know what you're going to get with Javi.
Yeah, you're not going to feel comfortable. 117 batting average off of this season. He has the lowest opponent batting average against him in all of baseball.
And this ball to shallow center, and it's going to be grabbed there by Crawford, 1 out.
138 batting average.
He's starting to get Jesse Orozco territory. Not quite, but I mean, he's been ageless.
And here he comes. Bochy gets one. He gets one batter, and that's it. He gets his lefty out. Looking for a great deal? Get a Coca-Cola value pack available September 18th through the 20th versus the San Diego Padres for either $59 or $79, depending on seat location.
The way I figure it, as long as Javi stays left-handed, he's going to stick around for a while longer.
He's about to go have a nice seat on the bench right now and watch his teammates try to pick him up.
Did he sweat or not? No. It's been called back, and Charlie Blackmon is going to hit it against Sergio Romo.
You look at Sergio Romo's numbers this season: 56 appearances, 2 for 2 in save appearances when they're not using Casilla. 45 and 2/3 innings, and he's still getting the 61 strikeouts. Only 9 walks.
It's really amazing, because bullpens seem to be such a fluid situation with virtually every club in baseball. And you think of the Giants and their 3 world championships in the last 5 years. And Romo's been there. Affeld's been there. Javi Lopez has been there. Santiago Casilla's been there. It hasn't changed much.
You have these core 4s like the Yankees with Jeter and Posada, Andy Pettit. I mean, you got to have it if you're going to be on a run, and this is a run. 3 World Series out of the last 5 years is a run.
Especially in this day and age.
Yes.
Listen, they're not counting themselves out yet.
No,
every day, Bruce Bochy on that bench, when he visits with the media, says we're just a good run away from getting right back in it. And they got stung. They don't deny it. They got stung in LA. They lost 3 heartbreaking games, all 1-run games. They're going to look up right now on that scoreboard, right field, behind Marlon Byrd. They're going to see that the Dodgers are up 5-1 in the 8th inning on San Diego. 7.5 game differential. There's that slider on the outside of Charlie. It's 2-2.
Well, the only other team to win 3 World Series titles in 5 years is the St. Louis Cardinals between 1942 and 1946. They won 42, 44, and 46.
The old Gas House gang. It's Dougie's favorite team growing up. And this is in the air to center. Blanco the catch, and they're 2 outs.
I read an article the other day about that group, talking about their pitching staff. It's arguably the best pitching staff of all time, and right now the Cardinals, with their ERA being well below a 3, they're making an argument that this year's 2015 starting staff is better.
Yeah, well, Michael Wacha, Lynn, and Carlos Martinez, Lance Lynn and Carlos Martinez all have sub 2.9 ERAs.
part that was amazing about those Cardinals teams is that they had a 4-man rotation, and 2 of their starters was going 330 innings a year. 330 innings a year.
Their agent didn't say, hold on, he can't go more than 310.
No, and the doctor didn't have a note for them either.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated comes out with the Where Are They Now issues every year. 0-1 on Garneau. 1-1. You know who's not too far away from being part of that issue?
Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson. You were thinking the same way I was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where is he?
On Venice Beach. That's a strike. 1-2 on Dustin. Came in the ball game in the 6th after Nick Hundley had to leave with a stiff neck, and he had a base hit against Bumgarner in the 6th.
Pretty sure you're going to get a steady diet of sliders at this point.
And a check swing to Hopper to second. So the combination of Lopez and Romo gets the Rockies in order in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. It remains 7-4 San Francisco.
Yeah, I can't wait. I get to meet another new baby. All my friends just have babies conveniently when I come out there.
Well, first it's the weddings. And then
that's right.
You know how that works.
Yes, we do.
There you go. All right, Jenny, thank you. Matt Duffy in the 9th inning, and the Rockies will send out Jairo Diaz. Walt really likes Spilly, what he's been doing, and more often than not, he's been asked to pitch the 8th inning on the plus side.
Well, and he wants to see it. I think this is audition time for a lot of guys. You're going to see it with Christian Adames. You're seeing it when you see Kyle Parker in the outfield, Ben Paulson. There's a lot of guys auditioning for spots for next year and moving forward, and you want to know, is this guy capable of being a back end of the guy? Can I put him in high leverage situations? The stuff is there. He's touching 100 miles an hour. But just because you throw 100 doesn't mean anything in the major leagues. You have to be able to locate, and then it's how you compete.
Yeah, the biggest issue, as we all know, for the Rockies, for so many of these young guys, is consistently throwing strikes. Duffy, Posey, Bird in the 9th inning. And the first pitch, a fastball for a strike at 99.
You can hear it from up here. You can hear the.
You find that intimidating when a guy had a heater and you heard it go by, you didn't really see it that well?
It's not intimidating if you can see it. If you can't see it and you just hear it, then yeah, I don't want to hit.
Then it's not good.
Yeah,
huh?
I don't want to hit.
1-2.
Well, if you're throwing at the bottom of the zone like that last pitch by Jairo, no one's going to touch that. That is impossible to touch, or at least put in play without it being a dribbler down the first baseline.
That's no fun to attempt to block, because, and you know what, Garneau is walking back, and that got flesh. But when it hits the dirt, it takes like at least like 4 or 5 miles an hour off it, so it's only like 95 hitting him in the arm. 2-2.
It's the weak ground ball to first. That's all you can do with that. 99 down and away. You put the bat on it, your bat's going to explode. And the bat boy brought him 14 bats to pick out. Like Casey at bat right there.
A great Sunday afternoon crowd. Many sticking around, hoping for some magic in the bottom of the ninth. 36,649. Great way to spend your birthday. That a baby. Guy looks around your age, Billy.
23.
Line to Carr going deep right, and he'll make the catch. He dekes me sometimes because everything he does is so smooth. You're like, is that over his head? And he's just cruising to field it off the wall, or does he have a beat on it?
He gets a great jump off the bat earlier today. He thought he was going to be able to catch a ball off Buster Posey. This one, Duffy didn't really get all of it. He didn't crush it. And Cargo doing the stylish point catch.
I told you I'm out on these defensive metrics.
It's so silly. He's one of the best right fielders in baseball.
I hope he gets rewarded. We talk about Gold Gloves, and you know Nolan's going to get one. I hope DJ gets his second. I think he's deserving, and I think Cargo's deserving of his fourth.
You're right. So is Charlie Blackmon.
Charlie's played a very good center field.
And you know what? Charlie has made himself a good center fielder.
Cleaned up his routes from when he first arrived, hasn't he? The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code's RocksWin at papajohns.com. It's Chuck Nasty. Posey fouls that off again. Somebody yelled out of the stands. That was ugly. You know what? He's still at the plate, though.
Exactly.
Remember the great story about Helton when he first came up. Good pitch by Diaz. Somebody was looking at his swing, and he saying, "What's he doing?" And Don Baylor, who's the manager then, said, "Oh, that's nothing. Wait till both feet get off the ground."
I've seen that.
Right?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Unbelievable hand-eye coordination.
Unbelievable. You can't teach that. Those are two back-to-back swings Buster Posey took that I've not seen him take before.
No, this can't be a comfortable AB against Jairo Diaz. Effectively wild.
Effectively wild. He's throwing hard. The shadows are creeping.
And the shift was on, and Bird's going to have his fourth hit of the ball game.
Calling all college students. College night at the ballpark is Friday, September 18th. Packages include a game ticket and sunglasses. Cool. Visit Rockies.com/college.
So Brandon Belt with 2 outs. Speaking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Rockies will have a pinch hitter in the pitcher spot, and then Barnes and Enoa scheduled. You have DJ LeMahieu available. You have Morneau available. You have Paulson available. Santiago Casilla will be on the hill for the Giants in the 9th. 1 hop, and it's going to eat up Reyes. That's a tough play. That'll be a hit for Bell. You get into self-defense mode because it's one thing if it hops far enough in front of you. This thing was hopping right
at you.
Right at him.
You have nowhere to move. You can't move your feet. It's an in-between hop. You can see on the Subaru Supermo, that is Jose Reyes just protecting his life. His glasses went flying. Looked at his teammates and he was like, what?
This reminds me of, you can have a Little League field. Somebody will yell, get in front of that.
Yeah.
You get in front of that.
No, exit speed on that was 110 miles an hour. No, thank you.
Brandon Crawford, a 2-run double in the 5th, 1 for 4. And that's a strike.
One of my favorite movies, Major League. Get in front of that, Dorn. Don't give me any of that Olay.
Saw Major League 2 the other day.
It's one of my favorites. I love Bill Parkman.
Nice job by Adames. That'll end the inning. It'll take us to the bottom of the 9th. The Rockies need to rally. They're down 7-4. We'll try to get after Santiago Casilla. The Rockies won the first 2 games of this 4-game set. They fell 7-3 last night. They had a 2-0 lead early on Madison Bumgarner, could not hold it. Casilla with his 55th appearance. He has 31 saves and 36 opportunities. He finished the game yesterday. It was not a save opportunity. Rockies had just 1 base runner in the 9th against him last night. So Ben Paulson will be called upon to pinch hit here. And then Justin Morneau has a bat in the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Barnes.
When Santiago first got called up to the big leagues, he was very similar to Jairo Diaz, where he was throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour. He could still touch the upper 90s, but relies much more on his fastball movement. He's got a lot of movement down in the zone. He produces a lot of ground balls.
(2-0) on Paulson.
I think the amazing number from today's game, the Giants 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. It's a lot of traffic. Rockies are 2 for 8.
Well, you know, in last night's ball game, the Giants had at least one base runner in every inning. And in today's game, they've had a base runner in every inning save the first when Yohan Flande got him 1, 2, 3. So you're talking about 18 innings, 17 of the 18 innings. There's been some sort of traffic. 2 and 2 now. The Giants, after 15 knocks yesterday, they've thrown out another 14 today.
Well, we know they can hit. I mean, they lead baseball in batting average for the National League, which is surprising to me.
Ben was telling me a story this morning about he was kind of a late bloomer in high school, and he wanted to go to Georgia Southern because all his buddies were going to Georgia Southern, and he grew up in the Atlanta area, and they wanted him to, you know, he was ready to walk on. And his senior year, he really blossomed, and then there was a lot of in-state interest. And his dad, who was at that time an assistant at Clemson, said, "Hold on," he said, "you could play at Clemson." And so then that ended going to play with his buddies, and he ended up obviously having a great career at Clemson. And as they say, the rest is history. But it wasn't until the spring of his senior year, and strike 3. That was off the plate.
It's a generous strike. Well, I mentioned about the movement he can create. That's a ball that started off the plate and stayed off the plate. Sure, we call it the black, and as hitters you can talk about an inch or two. I'm willing to give an inch or two off the plate, but no matter what, if it's an inch or two off the plate, hitters always say it's a ball. It's a ball. It's got to go over the white.
Justin Morneau swings and misses. He got an off-speed pitch. One and one. Justin look the same to you swinging the bat?
He does. The approach looks the same. His hands look the same. You know what I was begging for? When he was on the disabled list, he does something occasionally. He'll come out, nobody's on the field, he'll take a tee, a bucket of balls and a fungo, and he'll hit baseballs out of the stadium with the fungo, which may not seem like a big deal to you.
Do you know where he got that from? He got that in the minor leagues, the twin system, because they taught how to backspin the baseball and learned a power stroke. It was kind of like the Twins' way of teaching it. As he explained it to me once, to find the exact your plane to maximize the backspin, and they did it with a great deal of tee work.
It's the most incredible thing you've ever seen, because you are creating the power to get it out of the stadium.
Garcia strikes out Morneau, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Rafael Ynoa. On Jimmy John's delivery of the game, that 5-run 5th inning for the Giants. And here's the 2-run triple by Matt Duffy, despite the great effort by Brandon Barnes. That was a huge blow in that 5th inning. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game provided by the rookie third baseman of the Giants, Matt Duffy. Rafael Ynoa came in the ball game in the 5th, 1 for 2, a single and a line out to center. He swung it well this afternoon. The power that you have to have, just to finish the thought, and you can explain it far better than I do, to hit a stationary ball off a tee and hit it out of a major league stadium. I mean, to me, that's unfathomable.
And I don't want people to think at home he's hitting it clear out of course, like the actual stadium. I'm talking about over the fence.
Hitting over the wall. I don't care.
It's still, it's incredible. And he'll hit it opposite field. He'll hit it to center. He'll hit it to right.
Have you ever tried that drill, doing it?
I'm not even close. Not even close to getting it. You can maybe one hop the wall. He'll put it in the second deck of Coors Field.
Two and one. And a bouncer to third. Duffy's got it. And the Giants have defeated the Rockies 7-4 on a Sunday afternoon at Coors Field. So the Rockies and Giants split the 4-game series. The Rockies win the first two. The Giants come back and win the last two. The Giants improved to 71 and 66, trying to keep pace with the Dodgers. They're actually trying to do more than keep pace, but that's probably all they'll be able to do today, as the Dodgers in the ninth are up by 4 runs in San Diego. The Rockies fall to 56 and 80 on the season. Madison Bumgarner now 17 and 7. Johan Flande takes the loss. He's 3 and 2. And for Sergio Casilla, that is his, or Santiago Casilla, that is his 32nd save of the year. We'll have the Toyota postgame show upon our return. 7 for the final. The Giants over the Rockies this day.